Hey, what's up, Reefers? Quite a few of you has been asking about the Mangrove Tank updates. Now, this pair of clowns came from Sea Puppies Florida, and they have been living in this mangrove tank for probably like 3 months at this point. Got them right before I went off to Japan, and they've been doing beautifully and actually growing quite a bit since then. And I think it's time for them to go to the new home. This tank has gone through a couple iterations. It started out as a macroalgae tank, went to a soft coral tank, and then now, as you can see, it's mostly LPS. All the frog spawn, hammer, and torch that does not fit in the 145-gallon tank, I move up to this tank. And at the bottom, I tried to line them with like soft corals, also like green star polyps. We got some mushrooms. We actually got a pretty large letter that I got from my friend. Can't really see it, but on the side you'll see that it's about half the width of the tank. It's taking up a lot of room. So it's kind of like a mishmash of stuff. And I got a pair of clowns in there to add some visual interest, but overall it's not really doing it for me. I know a lot of people probably think that a tank like this is probably awesome, and it is, if I do not have that 135-gallon downstairs already. So I have been thinking, if the mangrove plants is not here, I probably would have restarted this tank to do something different, but the fact that I need to figure something out for the mangrove. Well, that aside, some corals of interest in this tank besides the gold torch, frog spawn, etc. I was doing experiments on the Fiji yellow leather. One of them actually came from my old 45-gallon tank. I actually got it from the fish store where it was canary yellow. It was really yellow, so I know that it's yellow. I sold it many years ago and then bought it back, I think 2 or 3 years ago. I was thinking that with a separate tank, I can try to crank the line a little bit more white to see if I can color it back up. As you can see, not much luck, but I have been reading that a lot of people have success of them turning yellow when it's under really white light, which I guess this is not white enough. Obviously, you can still see that it's kind of blue. So that kind of leads me to a second tank that I want to set up really badly. Wife actually gave the okay to set up a new tank, but personally, I'm not a huge fan of setting up a bunch of tanks where I just end up neglecting them. As you can see, this one is pretty neglected, even by my definition already. Because my algae I have not scraped. I actually have a little bit of a small dab of super glue that I did not scrape off. So I feel like time is on a relatively short order these days, and I'm kind of hesitant starting a new tank when this one is still up. So I'm thinking. So aside from the Fiji yellow leather experiments I also have stuff like, this is the Godzilla mushroom, I believe. We actually have a really interesting green Japanese Kenya tree, I believe that's what it was. I got to look back in my notes. I know I also have a frag of the Bahama Llama's weeping willow in this tank somewhere. As you can see, it's starting grown in already. It's hard to see inside. Another thing that I noticed is that in this tank, some of these frog spawns, even the hammer, that's the Prince of Darkness from ACI, they're not expanded, probably due to how strong the light is compared to what they're used to down on the 135. These guys been in here for almost 5 months at this point, so they kind of adjusted to the light. I can tell that the light is still a little bit strong for them. The torches did not really mind them at all. No surprise there, but I feel like they're still not completely happy, so I may even dial back the light a little bit more just to kind of encourage them to expand even further. The zinnia, as you can see, it started out with like 2 stalks here. It just completely took over this area. While on the glass, you can see the zinnia is not actually as happy as before, probably due to the torches and frog spawn growing well and kind of encroaching on the area and stinging them, keeping them back. So this tank is pretty full. Looking at the fish stock, while the clowns are awesome, the color definitely do not pop against these corals because they're orange, and a lot of these are tan and orange and green, etc. So I think what I would love to do after I move these guys down to the 135, that's why I'm going to do this video. I'm thinking about reintroducing maybe 1 or 2 azure damsels. Those are my favorite damsel at a reasonable cost. All right, let's step up and then let's take a couple steps back. Now here's the tank and here's the mangrove tree. About almost a year ago, we went in and pruned it pretty heavily with inland reef. And I chopped off a big chunk. I chopped off, I think, 1 or 2 small branches, and that was it. As you can see, you can hardly tell it got cut. The canopy grew in, As the claim is a lot more full and a lot more level versus sparse, so which is great. And it's once again approaching the light, so it's time to cut them one more time. And this time I'm gonna continue trying to build out the canopy at the top. I am gonna be really strategic, excuse me, in terms of how to cut it. I remember Taylor was saying that depending on which direction the leaves come out from the branch, if I cut it right, let's say right here, it's gonna follow the trajectory. For example, if I cut here, the new shoot is gonna come out this way and that way. So that's something to keep in mind and something I'm gonna continue to experiment. But once again, looking at this tank, honestly, at this point, it's kind of like a smaller replicas of the downstairs 135. All right, today we got a little helper. We got Leon. He's gonna help with holding the camera. Can you hold this?
So it's a picture.
No. It's filming already. So you just have to point it. You see there's a little red record right here? Mm-hmm. Oh, excuse me. Look at me first. Okay, so now we're gonna move the clownfish. Do you get the whole body in the frame?
Yeah.
Okay, let's take off this thing first. This is a jump guard. This is to prevent fish from accidentally jumping out. Right here, we got a clownfish, pair of clowns, ready to go. Got it?
Yep, I'm filming it.
I can't really see it here.
Can I go pee first?
What? I'm gonna. Okay. All right. Hold on. Hey, this is after the pee break. Let's do it. Okay, Nia, just keep an eye out. Tell me where the clownfish is, cause here. Okay. All right. I'm gonna go from the top. This net is big, so maybe we can just. No. Here, that's one.
You cut the tiny one.
I got a small one. Okay, that's one. The other one is hiding now.
That's a good hide and seek.
Okay, I see him here.
You cannot catch us.
Yeah, that. Oh, touch a coral. Okay, the second one is gonna be trouble. I'll use the second net. Bet you didn't know I got a net right here.
Oh, can I do that?
Here we go.
Oh.
Come in.
Yes, come in.
Got him. I think we got him.
Get him.
This net is out. Ready?
Mhm.
Here we go. Here.
Can I touch him?
Not yet. Let's get him in the
tank first.
Yep, safe and sound first. There we go. Once again, these came from the Sea Puppies Florida. Absolutely beautiful. It's not often I get top-down view of these guys, so that's why I'm grabbing some extra shots here. Obviously, the larger one should be female and the smaller one should be male, and they've been with me for what, probably 3 months at this point. Past QT, and I fed them every day. They're not really fat, so I don't think I'm doing a good enough job feeding them. But I think with the 145, there's a lot more food going in, and it's a lot more dynamic, that environment. So hopefully they'll do well in there, and obviously my hope is that they'll find the Colorado Sunburst Anemone. Tank is ready. Here's a sea anemone that I hope that the clowns will go in. Clowns are here. Leon's right there. Callum's right there. Let's roll. I did not acclimate them simply because the parameters of both tanks in terms of temperature and salinity should be the same, or very close, if not the same. I thought about using an acrylic tube to slide them into an anemone and get fancy with it, but honestly, no time. I don't have an acrylic tube, so we're just gonna go straight in. Here we go, buddy. Let's see here. Can we see from this side? Yes. And just like that, they're in there. I do like the fact that the pair seems to be sticking together. Zooming back a little bit so you can see the scale of the clam. They're going into the clam?
I think
which is kind of cool. I like that. I've heard of clams hosting clowns. I have never experienced it, but if that happens, I would not mind, because that is a really, really cool look. Yeah, you can come look. Look at that.
Maybe that's weird, because a clam is not supposed to carry a clownfish all over the place like a sea anemone, because a clam can get eaten if it's big. Yeah. Because sharks can go through the clam's shell, and tiger sharks.
Yup.
And blacktip.
Well, thankfully nothing like that in this tank. Oh, I'm always really curious about the first reaction from other fish. Look at this. the yellow tang is slightly aggressive towards them. Same thing, yeah, the yellow tang's definitely the aggressor. Going up, presenting scalpel on the sides, but thankfully no actual like physical contact. It's kind of chase it out of the zone where he normally hangs out. But they are sticking close to the clam.
Daddy, look.
Yeah.
There's a fish under that coral.
Under what coral?
Here.
Oh yeah, that's upside down goby.
Is the damsel mad about it?
No, damsel doesn't mind, because like the damsel got used to him living there. Because you know in the past, mommy's angry with daddy living here too. But mommy got used to daddy over time.
Wait, what? You have 2 damsels?
Yeah, man, I have more than 2.
Wait.
Oh, this one is angry. The azure damsels is going in to trying to tail slap the female clown. We'll see how they do.
Clownfish, swim away from him!
Yeah, look, the yellow. Yeah, that damsel's mean. The azure damsels.
Look, it's ignoring them.
Yeah, so the clownfish is trying to orient themselves right now. They're not sure what to do. They're sticking to the clam. Look at this! Look at the clownfish! They are hanging out, man! Look at this! And the other fish is not bothering them anymore. This is excellent. Nina, look at this. Clownfish is in this tank now.
Daddy, look! The boss is saying sorry.
Yeah, good. Huh? Oh, no, careful. Yeah.
Daddy, is this the boss?
That is the boss. Okay,
I saw it swim near it. That's how it say sorry, right?
Mm-hmm. So I think they're all friends now. This is excellent.
Okay,
Yeah, Nina, look, we moved the clownfish from the mangrove tank to here. Baby, yes. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, all right. Well, let's change Leon's toy box so we get some new toys.
Okay.
Come on, let's go.
1 week later.
The male has just kind of taken up residence in this corner. It's not like the flow is too strong for him, but for whatever reason, he's like this little corner. Maybe the other fish are a little bit too large and they kind of bully him to the corner. I'm not sure. I have not seen any physical attack. As you can see, the fins are perfectly shaped, so no issue of biting, anything like that. But it's just been staying here. Whereas the female clown has already taken up residence in the Retracted completely. And she's actually chasing out all the other fishes in the area. So we'll give him some time. So far he is eating, he just seems to prefer this corner. And the female clown once in a while does come, whenever she sees him, she'll try to lead him towards Retracted, but he'll always just kind of come back here. So it is what it is.
3 weeks later.
This morning, the clam started doing this. I don't like the look of it. This is not a good look. Something maybe stressing it out, or maybe it's trying to spawn again, which is not great too, because that means I have to do a water change. But we do have enough water. So if we need to, we could. Or could it be those clove column that's irritating it? But they've been there for a while, so I don't know. But I'm recording just in case. Just in case.
The next morning.
Well, folks, we had a little scare, but thankfully, on the second day, the clam returned back to normal. I have no idea what that was about. The only guess I could potentially have is maybe there's some pollen in the air. I don't know. My nose has been itchy, my eyes been watery, and usually this is when something goes haywire in the tank. But as you can see, after one night, clam is back to normal. Skimmer pulled out a lot of gunk, so maybe something was in the water. I honestly don't know. I mean, sometimes they just do what they do. Now, I also took this chance to kind of clean out the tank a little bit. I find out the secret to making the tank look a little bit cleaner, or even translate this to house. Make your house look a little cleaner, so get things off the floor. That's it. Clear things off the floor and your tank or your house already look a lot cleaner. This video is about a clownfish, right? So look at this. The pair of clowns found each other, which is fantastic. They also found a new home in this tank, which is this big Ganipora, unfortunately. I was hoping that they'll go into the Colorado Sunburst Anemone, which decided to move it as well. Something happened this last week. The anemone was happy here for about, what, 3-4 months already, and suddenly Clam decided to close, and then we decided to move, and of course it moved to this spot, and we have to really quickly migrate all the hammers to here to get out of the range of stinging. So we kind of shuffle things around and we clean things up a little bit, and I think all's well that ends well, and the clownfish seems happy. And between the two clownfish, you can see the female clowns is definitely a lot more adventurous compared to the male clown. The male tend to stick close to the Goniporas. The female just out and about mingling and then kind of like getting in my face whenever I'm in front of the tank, which is cool. You also notice that I clean out the Gonipora in the back a little bit. I sold the big pink Goni. I think I sold it for 80 bucks. And I also moved one of the frags from the back wall because it's not doing too well back there. The flow is not that high to here, just to let it recover a little bit first. I think because in the back, you can almost look straight down the tank. I'm thinking about adding a power head in the back corner so we can blow from the back side to create some water circulation in the back as well. I do have an extra, this guy right here. This is a J-Cot version of the gyre, basically. I think there's a 150. I do have the 70 in storage because it's a little bit too weak for this tank, so I just put it in storage and got this version. So I could potentially mount it vertically in that back corner and just blow it in the back. Create like a circular gyre flow, potentially, to bring some flow here. And I think with the increase in flow, the corals in this corner may be a little bit happier. Right? Otherwise, right here is kind of like a dead spot. You will also notice, or maybe you won't notice, that some of my corals got a bit of a haircut. The gold torch were just absolutely out of control in the back. So I just took out the whole chunk, chopped it up, sold some frags. I chopped up some of the Space Invader Pectinia. Also sold and traded some off just in case you're interested. Yeah, I do have more, and just hit me up if you want frags. My preference is trading. But of course, if you don't have anything for trade or you want to keep all your corals, happy to sell as well. I always am looking for ways to kind of recoup a little bit to kind of offset the ICP cost and stuff like that. I think that's really one of the main costs. I hope you guys are having a fantastic week, and I'll see you next video. Peace.